Hi, and welcome to the Sanctuary of Play Sunday Chat. Today we're going to talk about sanctuary, and we have a guest. So I'm going to introduce myself, and then I'm going to let the guest introduce themselves. I'm one of the founders of Sanctuary of Play, and my background is Christian. I was raised in one of the big worldwide religions where they consider that the atonement of Christ is foundational to being able to overcome sin, which is larger than people, and in that they are absolutely Christian. There's many sects of Christian that don't necessarily agree that the other sects are Christian, but in my mind, if they are talking about the big guy in the same way that all of the people of the book, like Muslims and Jews and Christians, talk about the big guy, but they're specifically talking that the big guy set things up and then went, oops. And then Jesus had to come and make it so that there was a cheat code so we could all get out of this okay. They're Christians. And then I went and volunteered with a whole bunch of different spirituality places. I live in the Bay Area and I'm exposed to so many things. And that's the perspective that I bring to this discussion. Handing it over to the guest to say what they would like to say.
Thank you. Yes, I am the guest, and I've been raised in three different religious modalities. Um, None of which I've really touched, but they've been around.
Should we talk about the compound? This location?
Possibly, yeah.
You start first because you've been here longer.
This location has had three places
Plus.
3+ religious congregations on it,
Yeah.
and they all were on of completely different faiths, and it was definitely interesting feeling that energy, feeling that vibe, as you will.
So there was a Gardnerian coven.
Mm-hmm.
There was an Umbanda, not a Kimbanda, an Umbanda Afro-diasporic church.
Yes.
There was a separate like Hogum for a more Caribbean and less Brazilian Afro-diasporic church. I know that there was somebody who was into Thelema who also used the same space as the Gardnerian coven.
Yeah.
I don't think that I know of there's been either people of the book or a Christian in this compound until
No,
SOP.
there hasn't been. So yay.
Yeah. Very different viewpoints.
Added onto the checklist.
There have been many theater troupes here.
Yes.
And
many theater troupes.
Including, I guess, would count as Greek reform because they were seeing theater as spiritual drama.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, I've been exposed all my life, basically, to faith and what that means.
But absolutely not Christian.
But absolutely not Christian.
You know, we've occasionally had me do little summaries.
Yes. And it's been like, oh, what? Why?
So when I say the word sanctuary, I'm meaning it in many, many different ways, one of which is Christian informed. But we've never really talked about that word. What is your first impression of somebody saying the word sanctuary?
The first thing that comes to mind is Kingdom Hearts.
That's fair. How did Kingdom Hearts use the word sanctuary?
Because
I didn't play that.
They
How could I?
the first game's opening song is named Sanctuary.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the second thing that comes to mind?
The second thing that comes to mind is safety.
Oh, that's cool, right?
Safety and the ability to just be,
Huh.
because you're not running. You are safe. You can be who you are.
Neat. Okay. Um. So we both worked at the same um, gathering spot for many spiritualities festivals,
Yes.
and they were a very inclusive space.
Mm-hmm.
So we both know, and I think we've both been to the ordination of pagan or Wiccan Christian um, pastors.
I think so.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes,
yeah,
we have.
yes.
Yes.
Uh, and the path that those pastors took to being both Christian and the alternatives to Christian
Mm.
is, I don't know if I've ever talked to you about this. There's the Ten Commandments is thou shalt have no other god
Mm.
before me,
Yeah.
and they took that to be, as long as it's first, then the rest of them, like, just he should be the most important.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a very that's a mindset that would be familiar to Jesus and the apostles because of the Roman Empire. What do you know about the way the Roman Empire rolled into other civilizations and um, made peace with their practices?
Nothing on that front.
Okay, so Rome would come in
Cool.
and have the Roman gods.
Yeah.
And then they'd be like, okay, and then you have your family gods.
Cool. That makes sense. But Jupiter must always be on top.
Basically.
Yeah.
And so, for example, when you first met me, I was living underneath a mandir, which is more of an Indian
Mm-hmm.
god's place. And the thing about that's leading up to sanctuary, that there's people, there's their spiritualities,
Yeah.
and then there's where people gather together to interact with and celebrate and perform their spiritualities. And uh, on the household level, there'd be the family altar, and on the village level, there would be a house or a grove or
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
Yeah.
And then on a much bigger level, you get things like cathedrals.
Yeah.
And much because it was a civic space, either where your family comes together or your village comes together, there tended to be kind of a keep the peace, much the way that markets would have a market cross, and anything under the market cross, you put aside your differences to
Mm-hmm.
go do businesses, and
Yeah.
you would kind of put aside behavior that would not be great with being spiritual in these spaces. And that, I think, is kind of a universal thing.
Yeah. That makes sense. Like, it's also with neutral ground
Yes.
in other aspects of life,
Yeah.
where everyone needs to play by the rules so that everyone can do what they need to do.
Because the space is set aside for that. Like, you don't scream and run around in the library,
Yeah.
you do scream and run around in the park.
Yes.
It's what it's set aside for. And so the village on up, Christian space set aside for this, literally had a part of the building called the sanctuary.
Mm.
Had you ever heard that before?
No.
Okay, so yeah, there'd be like the name, the sanctuary, the whatever, the whatever.
The vestibule.
Yes, that sort of thing. And so, for example, in Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame, when she comes into the cathedral
Mm-hmm.
and she cries sanctuary,
Mm.
she's literally doing it in the spot that you're allowed to do that. She would not have been able to do that out on the street. She has to be in the sanctuary to claim sanctuary.
That makes sense.
Did you notice she wasn't allowed to leave?
It has been so long since I've seen
Notre Dame, yeah.
The Hunchback. Yeah.
She was actually trapped there by claiming sanctuary.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would hope that not all, but yeah, that's where the having a space to do a spiritual act is, I think, a universal thing. But calling it sanctuary
Is very Christian.
is extremely Christian, and it's supposed to be a refuge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, with that in mind, how does that change the way you view the song? Did the song get into that at all for Kingdom Hearts?
Um. No. Maybe. Um.
That's okay. We're going to have me listen to that song later.
Yeah.
We will not be playing it now because I don't want to get the copyright strike.
Copyrights. So much copyright with that song.
Yeah. So the physical sanctuary became the act of giving access to that location as sanctuary.
The noun became the verb.
Yes. And so to some extent, and the concept. And so to some extent, when Sanctuary of Play is talking about being the sanctuary of play, we're talking about the protected space that play can give you, or the protected mindset to be safe enough to go play.
That makes sense.
That makes sense?
Because it, with declaring sanctuary, that means something, that something's basically chasing you. Or
the sanctuary is always there.
Yeah.
You don't have to claim sanctuary to have access to the sanctuary. In fact, that's something that I think people don't necessarily get about a bunch of churches, that there are churches that are open 24/7. The sanctuary is open. It's not necessarily a third space. It's definitely not a third space because it has an owner and rules and whatever.
Yeah.
But it was weird to me to go to churches that were not always open. I expected that I could be able to walk into my church at any time I needed to. Whereas I think your church is only opened for an event.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas if I just wanted to get out of the sun and sit in a cool, quiet place, I could go.
And cathedrals are big, cool, quiet places.
Yeah, even though where I went was not a cathedral. It was definitely a local village-size house.
Yeah.
And the local village-size house congregation that I belonged to would do things like, plays and theaters and games and picnics and all that jazz, and that would happen in the dedicated space to be safe and enjoy things. So I think definitely want this space online to be always open and a space where people can come and be reminded to enjoy things. But the fact that it does come with a refuge from strife component is nice.
Definitely.
Yeah. I'm feeling pretty at peace about talking about sanctuary. How are you feeling? Is there anything you still want to say?
Not really, but this has been good.
Thank you for joining me on this change of format. You've been a great guest.
I have?
You have.
Oh, good.
And thank you to the listeners for joining us today. Have a great week, and I'll see you next Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Bye.